I'm trying to pull this up on the TV so I can read the comments, but I don't know if it's gonna work. So, well, yeah, I guess it's working. I don't know. I don't think it's showing. Well, yeah, I guess it's working. Yeah, but it's not showing the comments. Okay, we got Ranger in the house. I appreciate you being on. Thank you. It looks like we have 5 right now. But I just wanted to get into it. I'm having to do it like this because I can't get out of this recliner because I have to keep my leg perfectly straight. And I'm going to get into what happened. I'm going to tell you the first part of the story all the way to the end because I've had a lot of people asking and it's kind of long and drawn out. But I'll tell you what all happened and everything, and if you're curious, and what I have scheduled going forward and all that other stuff. And if I'm missing names, hello Pistol Pete, hello Pranic, how are you? Got Floridian in the house. Yeah, I haven't been able to shave, so got quite a bit of whiskers. But anyway, it's dirt track in the house, so it looks like we've got 12. But I haven't done. And I tried to turn my phone sideways, but I guess this is the way it's wanting you to do it now. So, and can y'all hear me okay and everything? So, let me know if you can hear me because like I said, I've never done one on the phone like this before. Hello, thank you, A Barnes and Ohio Gear Guy. Sounds good. Okay, good. I just want to make sure because like I said, I can't hear myself, like I can normally on the computer. So, this part's kind of new to me, and I'm just going live from YouTube, not through StreamYard. So hopefully everything works out. Hello, Robert. Yeah, it's. I'll just go ahead. I was going to wait a little bit. I mean, I'll just keep greeting people, and we can all talk amongst ourselves for a minute because I don't want to. I know a lot of people will probably have the same questions, which I answer here in a minute. So we'll give it just a second. Hello, Lee. How are you? Unit 4. How are you, man? Man, that's what I have on right now. What y'all see in the thumbnail is exactly like it looks right now. Prior to that, I had a makeshift, an ER cast. If you go to my comment or my community tab in YouTube, I have the ER version, and then they cut all that off, and then the orthopedic surgeon put all of this stuff on. But I'll get into what it all officially is. But yeah, it's definitely a RoboCop boot. They had to get an XXL boot, or I'm sorry, XL boot for my shoe size. So luckily they had one left, or they had one. She said they only keep one. So luckily nobody had gotten it before me. So, but it is heavy. When you walk on crutches, it is freaking heavy. I mean, I feel like I'm dragging 20 pounds with me just walking on crutches. If you have fall out of the Chevette, you would probably stubbed your toe, yeah. All right, well, we'll go ahead and get into it at 7:02. I'm sure, others will jump in. We've got 17 in here now, 2 thumbs up. I appreciate everyone. Here's what happened. Okay, I was at my mom's, cleaning. Hello, Armsman. I was at my mom's, blowing leaves and all that stuff. I got over there early Saturday morning and I was doing a bunch of work for her around the house, moving boxes and moving everything. Well, we have an antique chair. I don't know if y'all have ever heard of them, but they are called gargoyle chairs. And if you look at each side of it, it has a wooden etched. They're hand wooden etched. These are from like way back in the day. But it has a gargoyle with the wings, and it kind of comes down. It has these big, huge claw feet. Well, my mom got it recovered a long time ago. This was my grandmother's chair from, it might have been from even her mother. I mean, this thing is solid wood. It's real heavy. But she had it recovered, and it has an ottoman, or she had an ottoman done for it and had it matched. So, I wanted that. So anyway, I loaded that in my truck, and I loaded a bunch of other stuff in my truck. And, that she did. It's not that she just wanted it out of the house. She knew that I wanted it. So my intention was to bring it in and put it in my office and things like that to have I was going to move my recliner, which I'm in now, out. But so I did all the work over there, loaded up my truck with all the stuff I was bringing to my house, got home, unloaded all the stuff, and, put it all in the house and was moving stuff around. And then I went back out and I climbed up in the bed of the truck to reorganize the truck because I got a toolbox back there, one of those big plastic. I've got like a floor jack, 4-way, uh, straps. I've got all kinds of stuff in the bed of my truck. And my truck is a 4-wheel drive, so it's not a lift 4-wheel drive, but it stands a little taller. And I have a step, that pops out from under the bumper. So I stepped on the step, stepped on the tailgate, got in there, and was moving stuff around, or about to move stuff around. And this is the part I don't remember. Here's the thing: I'd been up all day working, raking leaves, doing all that stuff, cleaning the pool over at my parents' house, and I hadn't eaten all day. I didn't eat one thing, and I'm not diabetic, but I did not eat one thing, and I was starving. So my intention was to readjust my truck bed and then just go grab something to eat real quick and be good. So I got up on the truck bed, from the step and climbed up there, and I didn't really even move anything in the bed of the truck. I didn't adjust the toolbox, I didn't do anything. And the next thing I know, I'm on the ground. But the weirdest thing, and this is very weird, and I've only heard of another person. I told them the story, and they're like, oh crap, when I fell, it was the same thing with me. But when I fell off the truck, and I'm not joking, it was literally slow motion. It stuck in my brain. When I was falling off the truck, I think my foot got hung in the cables, that hold your tailgate up. You have one on the left and one on the right. I think my heel, that might have caught my leg. But when I was falling, I saw my legs, I remember falling backwards and I saw my legs come up and my right leg was kind of going that way, which wasn't good. And then I hit the ground and my truck was parked in the middle of the driveway, so I had concrete on both sides. I didn't park close to one side where I have grass, which would have been better. Hello, Rabbi. Hello, Trigger Bar. And I'm sure I've missed people. I'll try to catch back up. I hit the concrete. Well, nobody was at home at my house, and in my pocket I only had the keys to my truck because I had left my cell phone in the truck. So it was in the front, console holder, just sitting there. I was laying on the ground, and there were some leaves and I was laying in kind of crunchy leaves, which were kind of, I guess when I fell, they kind of got all over me and in my face and stuff. So I was trying to breathe, and I think I was breathing in leaves because I was coughing. But I was laying there, and I was like, help, help. I wasn't being a bitch, but I was like, because I tried to like go, okay, let's get up. And man, the second I even moved my right leg, a pain shot all the way up my body. All the way up my body. And I'm like, whoa, okay, it's broke. Something's broke. I've broken bones in the past. I've had knee surgery like 25 years ago. I've had both shoulders rebuilt. So I know what true pain feels like. And I do have a very high pain tolerance. So I wasn't crying. I wasn't freaking out or anything. I'm just like, oh shit, I'm jacked up. And anyway, so I laid there and I took my keys out. And your little panic button where it makes your horn go honk, honk, honk. I was like, okay, I'll use that. So I pushed the button, honk, 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 did that. Nobody came out. I was like, hello, hello. But I'm laying on the ground, like near the driver's side rear tire on the concrete. So I'm like way down there. So the only person that could see me was coming this way. If you're, looking out your door, you would just see my truck and I'm honking. So somebody was like, his damn alarm's going off. So anyway, I did that about 3 or 4 times. Still couldn't get anybody. And then happened to be a newer neighbor that lives like 2 streets down. She was walking up with her baby in a stroller, and her husband was walking the dog and on a leash. And they saw me and they were like, oh my gosh, we heard the noise, your horn, are you okay? And I was like, no, I'm not okay. And so the husband kind of ran over to me and he was like, what's going on? I was like, I fell out of the back of my truck. And they're like, can you get up? And I was like, well, I think I broke my leg. And so anyway, he was a slender guy, but toned. And, I was like, you can't lift my big ass because I only have one leg. And so he kind of wedged his body back behind me, and we kind of, it's back to back kind of, to where I could get up. He got me up. I put my right toe, I had shoes on both feet, of course. I put my right toe on the ground, and the second I put my right toe on the ground, my knee just went kokunk, kokunk. I could just feel it just bouncing back and forth. And it was actually, I could feel that kokunking in my knee joint. So I'm like, oh shit, it's trashed. And so I'm thinking ACL, I'm thinking broken knee, broken ankle. I'm thinking multiple things. I look down at my knee, and it's literally looks like it has a softball on the top of my knee. So it's really bad. Sorry, my screensaver just came on my TV. But my knee is really bad. I kind of glance over at my ankle, and it's bad. He moves me. I kind of hop over to my tailgate. I sit on my tailgate. I have him fold my tonneau down so I can lean against it. And he, in the process, was calling or I told him, I said, hey, my phone's in the truck. Can you grab it? So he grabbed it. And in the process, he's on his phone calling 911. And she happened to be an RN, so she was a registered nurse. And anyway, so she's taking my pulse, she's doing all that. And I called my wife. She said, do you have anybody to call? And I said, yeah, let me call my wife. My wife was out Christmas shopping with her friend. So I'm trying to tell her, but with all the adrenaline and everything, and you have an adrenaline dump when something like that happens. So I'm starting to kind of feel clammy and feel weird. And again, I haven't eaten anything all day. So, I'm sure I'm not a diabetic again, but I'm sure my blood sugar was probably low because I hadn't eaten anything, which was stupid on me. So I start kind of feeling a little weird, and I tell her, I said, I feel a little weird. And she's like, yeah, you look kind of pale or look, white, like you're losing color. And she goes, you could pass out. So lean back. So I was leaning back on the tonneau cover, and she was kind of holding my chest. And I was talking, but I was just like, I wasn't making any sense. For just a second, I kind of could hear myself, and I'm like, what the hell am I saying? So anyway, she said, yeah, you passed out for like 20 to 30 seconds. And I'm like, I did? And she's like, yeah. And she said, the ambulance is on its way. And I could hear the siren and the lights. We could kind of see them way down at the corner. So anyway, they were there with me. The paramedics got there and from the ambulance and stuff. And I know our fire chief and everything, but he happened to be off that day because I was like, where's Glenn? And anyway, so, and I knew one of the paramedics. Anyway, they were like, what the hell did you do? And they looked at it and they're like, whoa. So they put the aired up full leg, where you put your whole leg in it, and they air it up and strap it down and everything. Did that, got me in the ambulance. And he was like, I might have to cut your shoe off. And I'm like, no, don't cut those shoes. They're new. And anyway, he took the laces out of them. I said, just pull the laces out of them and you can take it right off. So he did. They gave me, a low pain thing. He's like, what's your pain? And I was like, it hurts, but, I have a pretty high pain tolerance. So he's like, well, do you want anything just to take the edge off? It's not like a hardcore narcotic. And I was like, sure. So he gave me something just to take the edge off because I could feel it. And anyway, so I got to the ER. This was 4 o'clock or 3:30, 4 o'clock, Saturday afternoon. They took x-rays. They were able to do it at the bed, but they had to move my leg around, which sucked. My ankle was the size of, had a softball coming out of the side of it. My knee was twice the size as my right knee was twice the size as my left knee. And it was already kind of black. My ankle was already black. And I said, I know something's broken, and it was hurt like hell when they were moving them around to take the x-rays. Anyway, so then I laid there, and they had to send it off for the x-rays and all that shit. Then we got the results finally. And they came in, and I still hadn't eaten anything this whole time. Then the RN said, yeah, we got the x-rays back, but the doctor has to final read them, but I know you're being impatient, which I was. But I was being very nice. I was just like, I want to know something. And so she came in and she showed me my x-rays, and she pointed out the breaks. And I've got 2 breaks in the knee and 1 in the ankle. Two of the breaks are pretty big in the knee. The one in the ankle is, I mean, I wouldn't say it's huge, or I wouldn't say it's tiny, but it's not huge. But the other two are pretty bad. Anyway, so after it's all said and done, the doctor finally came, or then they were going to put they call it like a portable or a makeshift cast. It's not like the cool ones that people sign. It was kind of a ghetto one where it's just got the straps going down the side and under your foot and all that. So they did that. That's in the picture of the first community tab. So they did that, put that on, and anyway, they had to let it harden. So I waited for the doctor. The doctor finally came in after forever, and because they were really busy, and told me what was going on. They set me up an appointment with an orthopedic doctor slash surgeon, and for the Monday. So this happened on Saturday. I left the ER about 11:30. I was getting up with my crutches, and man, I'm right foot dominant, so it's weird on crutches when you're trying to lead with your left foot because I can't put any weight at all on my right foot, not even really to press down or to, I can just kind of pirouette or whatever you want to call it. And anyway, I was like moving my crutches and I was feeling like really dizzy again. And they were like, "Have you eaten today?" And I was like, "No." And they're like, "Oh, crap." This was, 11, I don't know, like 11:15 or something already, 11:30. And anyway, so they got me some, because she said, I was looking pale again. So she got me some crackers and cranberry juice and like these little, I don't know, millionaire bars and some little Hershey bars, and I just, like from Halloween, and I just ate those real quick. And anyway, I started feeling better and started looking better, and I guess my pulse was higher and all that other stuff. So yeah, I ended up, they ended up taking me in a wheelchair instead, just to be on the safe side. Loaded me in the car. And when I was in the car, I had to put the passenger seat completely flat, like I was in a gang or something, and I had to slide all the way up so they could get the foot, in the car. And it's a four-door car, but it's kind of a sporty car. Anyway, so that was that. And then Sunday, I can't do anything other than crutch to the bathroom and crutch back. That's about it. Been sitting in a recliner, and I'm a blow and go kind of person. I like to get shit done. I was already planned to take off this week so I could get my Christmas shopping done, for my wife and stuff like that. Well, that screwed all that up. So I haven't even been able to do any of that. Hello, G23, Taylor Brown. Sorry, I'm just trying to catch up just a tad. Then anyway, Monday, I had an appointment with the orthopedic. It's a joint and surgical center. So I went in and talked to him. He looked at everything, and he's like, "Yeah, you got two big breaks in the knee." And he showed them to me again, and the break in the ankle, and we're gonna have to immobilize your knee from my thigh. I've got that brace that goes from my thigh all the way down to the bottom of my calf. Then the boot starts at, like the lower, I don't know, maybe the middle part of the calf, kind of like a little bit taller, high top basketball shoe. Then it goes all the way down and covers my toes. So that immobilizes the ankle and immobilizes the knee. So I can't bend my knee at all. So when you got to go crap, just being honest, when you got to go crap, I have to keep my knee or my foot completely straight out. It's so awkward. Sit in the recliner with the thing up, and I'm sitting in it now. I'm not laying in it. I've had to sleep in my recliner. I'm basically living in my office, so to say, in my recliner. I have to keep this on. Now, I do have an MRI scheduled for the 27th. And I have good insurance, but I still have to pay $1,000. I already had to prepay $1,000 for my part, which sucks, but whatever. Because they're going to check for ACL, MCL, everything. He already knows the meniscus is torn because when it crashed together, you can see a pit where the crack is. So I know the meniscus is trashed. However, you can live without having surgery on your meniscus. You can also live without having an ACL surgery, but they still want to verify all of it just to see if there's any internal damage, which I'm sure, in my opinion, when I was falling back and I could see my leg, when your knee is here, but this part's going that way from your knee down, that's not a good sign. So something's jacked up. Either that or it was just because the bone was snapped. Um, so anyway, that is what I've been doing. So ever since Saturday evening, I've basically been living in my room, not doing any, I'm not drinking alcohol. I'm not really doing pain pills. I've got some. I might have maybe one a day, if that, when it starts hurting. Um, and they're just hydrocodone. It's nothing crazy. Um, but yeah, I'm not drinking any alcohol just because, if I do take a hydrocodone, I just don't want to do anything stupid. Saturday, I hadn't drank a drop, other than water. Um, so anyway, that's the story. I just wanted to tell you, but I have to keep all of this on for at least 6 weeks. I do have the MRI. So on the 27th, I go back to the doctor on the 30th just for like a 2 week follow up. I'm sure he's just going to ask me some questions. Nothing's going to change in 2 weeks. Um, and then, hopefully by the end of January, I'll get to be able to take this shit off. But we don't know about the ACL, MCL. We don't know about any of that stuff either. I don't know how, sturdy the knee's going to be. So, or if it'll have to do screws, or, he just said he has to look at it after the MRI and really see what's going on in there. So, but, yeah, it's very painful. It sucks. It hurts. I had a bunch of people, I don't know how anybody found out about it. I didn't post anything, but I was already having people, well, I told friends, on YouTube. Um, so apparently, and I heard that somebody said something on somebody else's chat, I guess, that they had found out about it. So anyway, but I had already been getting well wishes, and I'm like, I didn't even really even tell anybody, subscriber wise, that I really knew of. So anyway, that's why I posted that. Just wanted to express my gratitude to everyone out there for the prayers and the well wishes. And this sucks, but we're down right now, but we're not out. So I'm trying to keep a very positive attitude. I'm a positive person, but this really sucks. um, like I said, I'm usually a hustler and blowing and going and trying to get stuff done all the time, and this is really, really, really sucks. I'm 250 pounds. My wife's 107 pounds. It's not like she can lift me up, but she's been awesome. She's been incredible. Kind of waiting on me hand and foot, and which I feel bad about, but that's that is what we do. Um, and I just have snacks up here that during the day, and have water and all that stuff that I need, and I have to wedge myself on the side of my recliner, and then grab a crutch and get lined up, and then go to the bathroom, and then crutch back and sit back down in the chair, and that's about as far as I've gone, other than coming from the car into the house into my office. So it really sucks. And I know that people have it way worse than me, so I'm not a pity party. I know, like Brian's had major surgery to his neck and stuff, so, I'm not complaining. I'm very grateful that I didn't bash my head open or freaking die. That concrete had no give, for sure. Also, before the paramedics took me, the couple, he was already walking down the street with his wife, and I was like, hello, hello. And so he ran back, and I was like, here's my phone. Can you please put your number in for me? Because I want to, let you know my appreciation for you and your wife. And so after, I think it was sometime Sunday, I texted him and, just told him thank you so much for, finding me and helping me. And obviously it was God's will that she was an RN. So that was really, and I was grateful for them helping me. And she had just had a baby 2 weeks ago. So, and they just moved in the neighborhood 2 months ago, supposedly. So, but super nice people. There are good people out there still in this world, which is awesome. One thing I do want to say that I didn't say, at the time of falling, I was armed, okay, and I was about to be taken off, or the ambulance was on its way. So basically the shadow systems is what I had on. and it passed the drop test with my big ass. It was in an Armsman holster. And I told her, this is after I passed out and came back. I told her, I said, I'm not trying to be the weird guy or anything. And I had my keys to my truck, they had given them to me. I said, I'm not trying to be the weird guy or anything, but I have a gun on me. And I said, I'm going to take it off in the holster so it will be together. But can you please put it in my house and lock the door? And she's like, oh, yeah, no problem. Which I was grateful about because you just don't know how people are going to react nowadays. So she took the weapon in the holster and took it in, set it on the bar, locked the house up for me, locked my truck up for me. And my truck was just in the middle of the driveway, of course. The paramedics shut the tonneau and all that stuff for me, or shut the tailgate before we went to the hospital and locked the truck up. And they gave me the keys, so I had the keys in my pocket. But anyway, that's how it all happened, and this is what's going on now. So, kind of in a holding pattern. I don't know a whole lot right now. I just know this sucks, and I am having pain. But I just wanted to come on and try to do something. I can't really have a computer on my lap because it does hurt my leg pretty bad. I already tried it, so that's why I'm trying this from the phone. So hopefully, this is good enough. I haven't really missed many chats, and I wanted to try to do what I could do. And Trigger Bar to try to cheer me up, because I've been kind of in the dumps. This sucks. Trigger Bar was trying to cheer me up, so he's like, "Hey, come on my chat," last night. But I did take a pain pill last night, and I just don't want to. Not that it made me groggy or anything, but I just wasn't in the mood for it. I kind of had some pain. I haven't taken a pain pill yet today, so hopefully it'll keep on being better. Floridian say, so you don't know if you need surgery to repair the brakes, compound fractures? No. He seems to think the brakes they were clean brakes, so he doesn't think they're going to need screws or anything, but that's kind of why he wanted all this immobilized, to see how the brakes are healing, and then he'll do x-rays as we go forward. He will not do any surgery, and this is another thing. I was like, hey, if it does have a torn ACL or MCL or whatever, or you have to add screws, are you going to go in and do all that, and then I can start healing, all in one? And he said, no, we can't do any surgeries until your brakes are completely healed, because when we go in to do these surgeries for MCL, ACL, and stuff like that, we have to twist your knee a lot. And I'm like, oh. And so he's like, we have to move your knee around, and if you have fractures and breaks in there, that's not a good thing. So even if they have to do surgery for some reason, he wouldn't even do that until after the 6 months. So the bones could completely heal, and then they could have to open me up. I'm hoping that doesn't happen. I even mentioned to him, ACL surgery sucks. And he brought up a point, the doctor himself. He needed ACL surgery himself from basketball injury, and he chose not to get it. You can live without your MCL. So, but the thing is because of the way that the knee kind of crushed into the other knee, I already have arthritis, and that definitely damaged the meniscus, because you could see where it crushed a lot of the bone right there when they slammed together. He said I'm going to have probably a huge buildup of arthritis there, so I could have really bad arthritis. And I have arthritis, but I take Celebrex for it. Been doing that since I was 30. But it could be extreme, arthritis, maybe later on. So we just don't know. Right now, we're just in a holding pattern. Just don't know much right now. So, hello, Brian. Let's see here. Let me try to catch up on some of these questions. No, I wasn't gonna. Yeah, well, good thing I didn't have a SIG on me. You never know. Might have lost my Big Johnson. Never know. That wouldn't have been good. And then I did want to give the report. She brought the gun in, locked the door. We came home, and of course I was in pain and all that shit. So I hadn't looked at the gun. I didn't know if I landed on the gun. I didn't know if I damaged the holster. I didn't know if I damaged the optic. I didn't know anything. I didn't. I just woke up sideways, but kind of on my face. It was like on my left shoulder with my face on the ground, and my leg was kind of flipped over. So the gun was kind of touching the ground, I guess you might say. It was like my waist was twisted, if that makes any sense. Um, anyway, but I hadn't checked the gun, I hadn't checked the holster, I hadn't checked any of that. And last night, and this was Tuesday night, I told my wife, I was like, hand me my gun that's up there. So she handed it to me, and I looked through the optic, I looked at the holster, I looked, at the side to see if it was scratched, I looked through the lens. I looked at everything, see if, on the mag, I was just trying to see if it hit anything and broke anything. And Armsman holster is not cracked. It held perfectly. The clips are perfect. The optic is perfect. Perfect. No scratches, no dings, no nothing. My shirt, it got pretty beat up. I've got, you can't see it. Sorry, let me grab some water. I've got road rash, I guess you want to call it that, or concrete rash on my elbows. I've got bruises, like on my wrist, all on my fingers. So I don't know if I tried to grab the handrail. I had blood coming off this hand. I guess it ripped skin off right there. Have bruises on the back of my calves. I can't see them. My wife looked me over and she goes, "Wow, you got bruises on the back of your calves." So, I know I hit pretty damn hard. It's freaking concrete. And I don't know how high the fall was. I guess from a four-wheel drive tailgate, all the way to the ground. It's high enough, so it was a quick stop. Let's put it that way. Yeah, Keith, I fell out of the back of my truck. I just gave the full rundown. So if you want the full story, I already went from first to last. So I don't even know what Oak Island is. Let me catch back up. Yeah, I don't think it's compound at all. I didn't see that. They're pretty decent brakes. They're not like little hairline cracks. They're they're big old cracks. So he was pointing it out with his little pencil, and he's like, "Yeah, they're pretty big." Yeah, I don't even play video games. Been watching YouTube, trying to catch up on some videos, and leave some comments and stuff like that. Let me catch back up here real quick. Ranger says I was in a crash in 2023 or 2003. Hip shattered, knee shattered, ankle broke in 3 places. Right hip and right leg. Never the same. Can't walk. Oh yeah, no, I know I'll be better. Yeah, I know I'll be better. Like I said, I'm down. I'm just not out. Definitely feeling down because I can't get up and run around. Hello, Lynn Holt. How are you? Well, one thing is clear. You're going to have one fantastic weather predictor. Yep, I've already got them. From the shoulders and everything, I can tell my wife the second it's going to rain. That's been happening for years. Damn, G23. Man, I'll be praying for you, brother, on Christmas Eve. Hope everything works out well. Hello, Dennis. Yeah, I haven't even looked at my truck to see if I hammered down the side of my truck or anything. I don't know if there's any dents on it or anything. I don't think there would be. I don't remember hitting my truck. Yeah, Dave, I do. But I can also, work from the computer. The bad thing is I have a desk and it's got a tall chair, but I have to keep my leg perfectly straight, and I kind of can't get it all the way under the desk where I would be sitting at that angle, where I'd have to sit way back to where I couldn't even reach the keyboard or anything. That's why I'm doing it this way. But, I've got one of those little laptop foamy. My wife has it. It's got like pillow under it with a hard deal. So when I have to get back to work, I mean, that's going to be what, January 2nd or whatever, or the 3rd or whatever. Um, because I'm on vacation right now. I'll, just do a lot of calls from home and talk to customers through email and stuff like that. So, I mean, it's really only going to be another 31 days after that, which sucks, but, we just have to deal with what we have to deal with. But yeah, I do have disability and stuff like that if that has to kick in. But I mean, I'm still working, so I'll get paid. I already let my boss know about it and all that stuff, and he's, just worried about me. He's not worried about anything else. To help Turkey catch up on his emails, maybe. Yeah, I tried to get up. Like I said, I wanted to try to walk, and when that thing, put my right toe on the ground, it was like clunk. And I did it one more time, and I was like, oh shit, it hurts. And then I did it one more time, and it went clunk. And I'm like, yep, that's not good. So, yeah, like I said, what just sucks. I mean, I had my dad pass. Then we had to put my dog down, or our oldest dog, and then this. It's just like, damn, man, it's all happened within like shit. It seems like a month. All that's happened. I'm just like, shit, what's next? But like I said, it's God's will. I'm not. Only thing I can do is pray about it and hope I have a quick recovery. That's all I can do. Trump said no work from home. Yeah, like I said, it just seems like one thing after another. But, I have been kind of down in the dumps because, like I said, I'm a blowing and going guy. I hate sitting around. I'm always doing something. I was going to be shopping for Christmas and going and shooting guns. And, I had all these plans matter of fact, I even wrote them down in my little binder. These things I wanted to get done and the test I wanted to get done. And now that's all screwed up. So, I mean, it's just like, damn, here we go. So, yep, well, I didn't think about that. Things always come in threes. That could very well be what it is. Yeah, like I said, hopefully, I should be able to do it. I mean, I already was setting up plans for next month, the first of the year to start traveling with people, but of course, that's all going to have to be changed. So, don't say that. What did I say, Lynn? Did I say something wrong? I haven't. I haven't taken any pain pills. I promise you, and I'm not drinking alcohol. Oh, and my mom, she brought over some awesome chicken soup today for me and heated it up. And she brought me 2 bottles of Buffalo Trace. She's like, I'll just give you, one of your early Christmas presents. So, because Buffalo Trace is really hard to find. And she went to West Texas to see another part of our family. So she, over Thanksgiving, so she picked up a bunch of Buffalo Trace and brought me 2 bottles over today. And I'm like, holy crap. One thing I'll tell you what, which is a blessing, is off Amazon. My wife ordered me one of those things that go around your toilet, with those arms. Because if I didn't have those, I probably would shatter that toilet, just plopping down on it. And because I have to kick my leg out, towards the wall as I lower my body down. So that thing's been a lifesaver. Also, when my dad, was going through things for, he couldn't walk and everything, I bought him a really nice shower chair with the back and arms and all that other stuff where I could put him in the shower and give him a shower. And it was a nice chair. Well, of course, he's not with us anymore. So that was at my mom's house. So she brought that over today, too. So that way, because I'll just be honest with you, I don't fib or tell y'all anything. But I've only had, what do you call them, like a spit bath? I think that's just the joking way. But, been able to change my clothes, of course, and, wash off my back. My wife's been doing that for me. Because man, I'm like a shower and shave guy every day, and of course I haven't shaved. Sure I look like shit, but it is what it is. Maybe I'll grow me a Santa Claus beard. Who knows? Yeah, Robert, I was thinking the same thing. This may be protecting you from something worse had it not happened. You never know. Yep, and I thought the same thing. And this could have been a lot worse. Um, this could have been a lot worse. I mean, I could have hit my head. You know, I mean, I could have broke both my shoulders. I could have broke both my legs. I mean, could have broke my back. I mean, there's way things. That's where I'm trying to look at the positive of this. That this is all that came out of that. So it could have been much worse. So, that part is a blessing. Hello, Clyde. How are you? Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I'm not driving anywhere. And I'm also, I just, and of course, right now, I pretty much am somewhat handicapped, but, I always feel guilty about stuff like that. Even when I was taking my dad around everywhere, I had his handicap tag, and if he wasn't in the vehicle, of course, I always pulled it down, but I just don't take advantage of those kind of things if I don't have to. I don't know, Floridian. Like I said, either that or not having food. I mean, I had been drinking water, but I had been doing a lot of outdoor activities. It wasn't super hot though. But maybe I didn't drink enough. Maybe my blood sugar was like low, and like I said, I'm not diabetic. However, if you don't eat, maybe I just had a dizzy spell. I just don't know. So um, it was weird. I never moved. I got up in the truck. I was standing up in the truck bed, and I never moved one thing. And the next thing I knew, I was on the ground. But I remember falling and that leg flopping out. But I don't. I mean, I didn't. I felt hitting the ground, but I don't know if it kind of knocked me out when I hit the ground. I checked my head. I didn't have any dents or anything or bumps. So I think I landed on my right shoulder or my left shoulder. But hell, I could have broke a shoulder blade too. Yep, I appreciate all the well wishes and all that stuff. Dennis is saying he was out of work for 10 months with a serious shoulder injury. I went through some dark times. Yeah, no, I know. And that's when the evil sets in because you're just, you're feeling down. So I get it. And that's another reason I wanted to do the chat, just kind of talk to people and, interact with y'all because it definitely, it makes me feel good. I mean, to be able to, you know, reach out and talk to people. So, but flipping burgers, yeah. I don't know about the Boston Marathon, but and what sucks, man. Hey DB, how are you? No, I don't. I don't. That's what I'm saying. I don't really have, and this is another thing. I don't have high blood pressure, but I take a. It's just a simple water pill, and this is another thing I was thinking about. My blood pressure is, or it's been good since I've been taking this, but this is also a diuretic pill. It's a water pill, and I'm wondering. I did take that morning, and I'm wondering, like, they said earlier that maybe if I didn't drink enough, I kind of got a little dehydrated, and my blood pressure was too low, and that might have caused me to to fall backwards. Maybe it wasn't my blood sugar, maybe it was my blood pressure being too low. So that's another thing I thought about. Yeah, I haven't drank since this has happened. I didn't drink the day this happened. Not that I'm afraid to drink, but like I said, if I take a pill, I just don't want to. Now my blood pressure is great. Even when I went to the hospital, like, yeah, your blood pressure is awesome. Let me catch back up. Sorry about this. Yeah, no, I appreciate you, Keith, and everybody on here. I really appreciate it. Like I said, that's always a great thing to have people on your team and on your side, and I'm not looking for sympathy. I promise you, I'm not that guy. Um, I just wanted to kind of let the subscribers know, hey, here's what's happening. We're just going to go with the punches. I'm down, not out. So thank God. But, and people have it way worse than me right now. So we're just going to press through and deal with what we got to deal with. But if y'all do want to talk about some guns, I've been asked a lot about the Magpul pistol. We talked about it on the last chat. I've still been asked a lot about it. What do I think about it and all that other stuff. And like I said before, I think with the removable, FCU, that's a cool option to have like different frames, like a 19X frame, blah, 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 and stuff like that. So I think that's a cool option if they come out with PDW, like kind of like a flux kind of thing. That could be cool. And my prediction is that's what Magpul's going to do for this upcoming SHOT Show in January. I bet they're going to have a whole full line of products to put the FCU in, different colored frames and styles and sizes. And, I would also predict that they're going to come out with like a Glock 43X, a slimline profile of the same setup. That would be my prediction. I don't know. I don't know about the copyright stuff on that, but a lot of people have already knocked that off too, PSA, etc. So I would think they could knock it off. But I'm predicting they're coming out with that too, and maybe different sizes or maybe a different comp. They could have comp options, maybe ported options, threaded barrel options. I mean, they could take this pretty far depending on what they want to do with it. So, I mean, I don't think it's a negative. A lot of people are like, oh, it's just another Glock clone. I get it. It's not like I need it or anything, but it depends on the support behind it. If they don't delay and they get everything out pretty quickly, and like I said, have it all ready at SHOT Show to where when you buy that, you can buy the PDW, you can buy multiple frames, different colors. It could be pretty big for both of them. And the optics mounting thing seems to be pretty good as long as you don't use too long of screws where it goes down and hits the extractor. It seems to be holding pretty well, the ones that I've seen people playing with. So thank you, Dave. I appreciate it. Let's see here. Well, and that's what I was thinking, Brian. You're bringing up the FCU for the AR. That's where I'm saying they could maybe flip this into one of the Ruger AR platforms or like the Ruger PCCs. They could take this a lot of different places. And to where you could just, if you buy that pistol, you could buy all the frames. You could buy the AR upper and lower, or the PCC upper and lower, and it just ships to your house. You just order it straight, and it comes straight to your house because you already have your FCU. So, I mean, there's all kinds of things they could even do a combo kit where, you get the pistol and the PCC and the, PDW flux kind of thing, all in one box, but you have the one pistol, with the FCU, and you just move the FCUs around. So, I mean, there's all kinds of things that this could take off for them. Yeah, Pranic says, my buddy and I shot 2,000 rounds of 9mm today. Got to play with PCCs and his new suppressors. That's awesome, man. Yeah, I saw that picture you sent me, Pranic. And I would have loved to have been there at ETTS. That would have been fun. Yeah, Taylor, I can go ahead and tell you about it. I haven't done a formal review, but any update on the review for the Lynx Defense Concord bag with the new pistol pouches? The pistol pouches are awesome. I've been using them. Shit, every time I go to the range, I've got pistols in them. They're awesome. I can't recommend them high enough. The Concord bag is huge. If you want a really, really big bag that doesn't look so tactical, that's a good option. I'll just go ahead and tell y'all, in my Concord, I have a broken down 10.5 AR, so it's actually pulled apart. So I've got the lower and the upper side by side. It fits in the bottom of the bag. The way I've done it, I took all the dividers out and laid the dividers flat, so it gives me a heavy flat bottom. And Velcro, I've got the Velcro loops around it, so I can just yank them out, snap it together with 2 pins, and boom, I've got it. Again, it is a 10.5 5.56 that I've got in that bag, and it fits perfectly. Now, that is not with the suppressor, that's just with the muzzle device. But on the end of it, I do have, I've got the Q cherry bomb, but on the end of that, I have the bottle rocket, so where I can shoot it, it's kind of like a brake where it just screws onto the cherry bomb to protect the threads, but that's what I've got in that bag. And then on top of that, I've got a layer where I've got another pistol on it, and a PDW on the top of that. So that's kind of like a quick go bag. It's got mags in it, 5.56 mags that are loaded. It's got Glock mags that are loaded, for the PDW, for the Recover Tactical. So that's what's in that bag, and I've carried it multiple times, and it works great. So I can't highly recommend it enough. Big J, did you hear about the Honda and Nissan merger? Yes, I've heard about it. Nissan, they only have less than 12 months of operating money left, so it's pretty bad for Nissan. So if somebody doesn't buy them or they don't do something, they already laid off like 900 people. If they don't do something, Nissan's going to go bankrupt pretty quick. And then also, I did get a report today that Stellantis, so that's Mopar, Dodge, Jeep, Chrysler, they will be lowering all their vehicles in 2025 35% of MSRP. So whatever the MSRP is now, it should be going down up to 35%. So that means Ford, Chevy, and probably some other uh, popular imports could be lowering their prices as well. So that should kick off in 2025 sometime. I'd be looking for that if you're looking for a car or a truck. That could help a lot of people there. Now a truck that you have a lot of, or that you don't have any equity in, where you've got a lot of, payoff left, that's probably not going to benefit you because you're going to have to roll that shit over. So I wouldn't do that. But if you're just looking straight up for a car purchase, that could be a really good time to buy. And then, what else was it? Because matter of fact, a lot of dealers, and this is crazy, a lot of dealers still actually have 2023 vehicles. Now, these are some that people don't care about, but they have 2023 vehicles on their lots from 2023. So these things have had multiple birthdays already, so that's never a good thing. Who do you order your optic mounting plates from? I order them from Impact Machine. Their plates are legit. I've tested that one on my Shadow 2 Compact for quite a while now. Absolutely love it. I know they make them for other guns. I don't know all of them, but they do have a ton of them. So I would check them out. If you want to use a code, I don't make any money on it, but it helps y'all. It's BJGG10, and that's at Impact Machine, and that saves you 10% off if you want to use that. It's BJGG10, all caps. And that's also for any other milling or stippling or anything like that. Also, if you need a great holster, you can order it from the Armsman holster. I can't put links on here, but Armsman holster, I've got several videos on it, and you can use my code BJGG10. That saves you 10% off and free shipping for my subscribers. So Armsman has given that to y'all too. So I would definitely, he makes some fantastic holsters, and obviously my big ass didn't break that holster when I fell on it. So, but this even brings up another point too, that really, and I was even talking to the Armsman about this today. When I fell off that truck, I had it at appendix. Okay. So yeah, depending on what gun, if I would have been carrying a 1911 or a 2011, could it have popped off? Maybe. Carrying a SIG, could it have? Maybe. I don't know. I'm not trying to hate on anybody, but I was carrying at the appendix. So if I would have been carrying at the 9 o'clock, my left hip, that's where it feels like I ended up on that. Man, that could have like crushed my hip. I mean, that gun could have done all kind of internal damage to me. If it would have been on my 3 o'clock and I fell and landed on my right side, that could have broke my hip or really done even more damage to my kidney or liver or who knows what the hell. But, and here's another thing. If you're carrying at the 430 or even closer to your spine and you were to fall, I'd fell off that truck and land on my back. That could have freaking broke my back. So, that clicked into my head too. I'm like, man, that could have been really bad. Yeah, a gun's broken or cracked or you crack an optic. I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about freaking breaking my hip or, having the gun just, try to go through me. That would have been good. So that's just another thing I thought about after all this. But Brian's asking, well, here, let me catch it again here. Do you like Grant Thumb's videos now or when he had Charlie and Micah? Um, I like it more when he had Charlie and Micah. You know, I think they were funny. They added a lot to it. Um, you know, there's a lot of funny and joking around, and it just made it even more entertaining. So it is kind of a little stale. I mean, Grand Thumb has a huge following. I think he's going to be okay, but you know, it would. I think it was better when they were on there. Chessboard says, Big Johnson, sorry to hear about your misfortune. If you think you blacked out, convey that to the doctor. I was having dizzy spells at 77. I have carotid artery blockage. I hope you'll have a safe and speedy recovery. Yeah, I'm not sure I blacked out. I really don't know. And they did check my head and all that. And I didn't have any dents, but they didn't do a CAT scan. But I mean, I haven't really had any headaches or loss of names or anything like that. So I haven't. And of course, I've already slept. This happened Saturday night, or Saturday evening late. So I've already slept multiple days or tried to sleep. I'm not sleeping very comfortably, but you know, I'm sleeping in a damn recliner, and it's a comfortable recliner, but still, I would rather have a bed. Pranic is saying appendix is the best place to carry for many reasons. You're right, Big J. Yeah, I mean, I've always said this with appendix. I feel that I have the most control of it, and I've carried it to 3 o'clock. I've carried it to 4:30. You know, and when you're getting out of your car, you kind of bang you bang your gun on it, or if you're walking through tight, you know, like grocery stores or something, you know, little kids' heads right there, bam, he's gonna, you know, take it at 3 o'clock in the head, or somebody's elbow. You know, that's happened before when I carried it to 3 o'clock, and I'm talking inside waistband. You know, it's just bulky, so it kind of hangs there, and I'm a big guy. With appendix, I've never, unless you just go up and start literally pelvic banging on somebody, I don't think they're ever going to feel it or see it, but I feel I have the most control of it there too. You know, for quick deployment or whatever might happen, I just feel that's kind of my space that won't ever be interrupted or shouldn't ever be. Now, of course, if you get on, somebody pins you down, you know, I've heard all kinds of horror stories. You know, anything can happen. It's just the most comfortable for me. Yep. Yeah, dirt track, you're right. Falls are bigger. Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things, man. Jackson saying I had to sleep on the sofa for months because I broke my leg. I missed my bed so bad. Yeah, I know. And I even thought about on our couch. It's one of those custom built couches, so it's kind of tall, and I have to keep my legs straight. But when I lay on the couch, you know, and it's a long couch, but it's just not super comfortable to lay on. But in my wife's office, she has a really nice couch, which we used to have in the living room before we had that one in there built. And that one's super comfortable, but it's real low to the ground. I mean, real low. So I'm trying to get up, and I'm a taller person, and I'm just putting all my weight on one leg trying to get up. So it's, you know, it's just not very functional. The other couch is taller, so I had it built for, I guess, when I can put my feet on the ground, my wife can't, but I had it built for my knee bend or whatever you call it. They measured me for the couch. So when I sit on it, and it's a deep back, but when I sit on it, my feet can be on the ground and it's right in the knee cut, if that makes sense when you bend your knee. So, but my wife hates that couch because it's the tight leather, and she says it's not comfortable, and it's kind of not comfortable, but it looks good. Yeah, I've slept in this ankle before, or well, not this recliner, another recliner. I had shoulder surgery when they did the total rebuild, the rotator cuff, lateral joint, bicep tendon. And I've had that done on both arms, but I had to sleep in a recliner with the ice machine and all that kind of shit too. So I've lived sometimes in some recliners. They're not fun, but like I said, hopefully 6 weeks, this shit will be over with, and I won't have to have surgery, and we can just press on with this shit and be over with it. Hello, William. How are you? So it is 7:58. My 84-year-old man or mom fell, no hip fracture, now in rehab. Man, I'm glad she didn't fracture her hip. That's awesome. You know, hopefully they get her fixed up pretty quick. And that's the thing, you know, I'm not super old or anything, but as you get older, it does take longer for your bones to heal because we're not 10 anymore. Um, I remember when I was a kid, I had the cast on where I'd just go and start punching mailboxes with your cast. That was the fun stuff to do. But, yeah. And I asked him if they were going to put one of those kind of cast on, and he's like, no, we don't do that. We, you know, want this RoboCop shit. But man, this thing is heavy. God dang, that boot is huge. I think it's a size, well, I mean, I have a 13 to a 13 and a half shoe, but this boot, it's got to be a freaking 15, or, I mean, for the overall size, it's got to be a 15 or 16 or 17. It's huge. I mean, my toes, I've still got that much plastic before my toes end, so they wanted to make sure the toes wouldn't come out, so that's what they put on me. And she goes, yeah, you need this one, because the other one was too small. My toes were kind of hanging out or close to the edge, and they were afraid I'd hit them. But anyway, yeah. Oh, I know. My wife and I were talking about it, and I was like, God, if I start adding up my collarbones and broken toes and broken fingers, I mean, it's weird. And like I was saying, I'm like, it's weird because I'm like looking at my arm and I'm like, damn, I didn't see that bruise the other day. So I'm like still finding bruises, I guess, just from when I was bashed around, which I know that's going to happen, and they don't really hurt. But, just thank the Lord, it was only my right knee and my right ankle. So during the day, we used to use the hard cast, hated it. We changed it to fiberglass after a few months, still hated it, but was cooler. Exactly. This thing is just obnoxious. And I know they don't want me to bend my knee, but this thing is just a pain in the ass. But they also do it so you can remove it, to take a shower. But I'm just being honest with you, the way my leg and my ankle and my knee is shifting, I'm afraid to take it off. So I'm probably gonna have to take a shower and have the leg, we got ordered those wraps where you can, cover all this shit. Um, and or hang it out of the bathtub or the shower or do something. Um, because I'm just afraid to take this off and then have my wife try to put it back on correctly, because it's very monotonous, and there's certain ways you have to do things, and I just don't know if we can get it back in the same position. So, and a lot of this shit I can't reach because, I mean, I can't bend it. It's got my leg like anchored, and I can usually bend down pretty close to my toes, but now I can't because my knee won't bend. So it sucks. Sponge bath. Yeah, we've been doing that. It's kind of fun. I'm just joking. I love my wife. She gives great sponge baths. And she's been taking great care of me. So it's always good to have somebody on your side that, it will be at your beck and call. I've also been trying not to worry her to death, though, just kind of chilling out in here and doing my own thing. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Showers are, and I got a shower chair. I said that I got that, the one that I bought from my dad, and I haven't sat in it. And, we've got different bathtubs, but I just don't know how I'm gonna. I mean, I guess when it comes time to figure it out, because I'll have to step over with 1 foot and hang 1 foot out. I mean, I don't know how this is gonna work. And I don't want to slip and break my other leg. So it's definitely weird. Yeah, I agree, Unit 4. That's what I'm saying. I just don't want to go through this shit again. And if I slip with it off, then it could become a compound fracture or something like that. I don't want to do that. Yeah, I've already had the itching with that first cast, and this one I've had a little bit of itching. But that is the good thing on this one. It kind of has cutouts where I could jam a coat hanger or something down through there if I had to. So, but yeah, it is 8:03. But I really appreciate y'all. And like I said, sorry if I didn't get to a bunch of questions. I just kind of wanted to fill everybody in, and y'all hear it from me and not from somebody else. Um, Our husband says I'm a big baby when I'm ill. I wouldn't have driven my wife. I would have driven my wife by crazy by now. Yeah, and I'm trying to, like I said, she's awesome. She's an awesome woman, but I can just tell sometimes she's like, "Do you need anything else?" And I'm like, "No, I'm good, thanks." And then I'm like, "Oh damn, I forgot something." So, but you know, we will keep pressing through. And like I said, I'm down, but I'm not out, and we're gonna keep on plugging away. And I've got some videos that I haven't released yet, so maybe I'll try to release them. Um, maybe I'll throw some shorts out, stuff like that for videos that I've made. Where I can dissect them or something and throw a short out so y'all can see some stuff from me. But maybe y'all will like that. But man, I really appreciate y'all. Yeah, I mean, I love y'all too. I really do. You know, so y'all are family. And I know people throw around the love word, but seriously, I really love and respect all of y'all. So thank y'all so much for keeping me in your prayers and for all the well wishes. And here's another thing. I don't know about next Wednesday, Christmas. Probably won't do a chat. Unless I just feel froggy and I'm not doing anything. And if y'all want to jump in, maybe. I'm not promising anything. I haven't planned to do it. But, maybe a different day next week. I can touch base with y'all. We could do another one of these lives. But it'll be from the recliner with my phone. Sorry. But, give you a little inspiration, give me some inspiration, and we will just keep plugging along. But thank y'all so much for tuning in. It really means a lot. And, like I said, if y'all need anything from me, you can, on this, at the end of this, I can go back and watch the replay, leave questions, comments. I'll answer them. Y'all know I always do. But what I was going to say is if I don't do a chat next week, I want all of y'all to have a very Merry Christmas. Love your family, be with your family, spend time with your family, because you never know. I mean, life is short, and, this will also be the first Christmas without my dad, which is going to suck, but, we all go through things like this, so, I appreciate y'all so much. I'm going to go ahead and cut it off here, and if y'all have any questions, let me know. Thanks so much, everyone. Remember, an armed nation is a very weak nation, but we all got to carry on. And yes, if you're asking, even in the recliner, I do have something right here. So, not saying anything's going to happen, but, gotta have it with you at all times in case. So, but y'all take care, everyone. Merry Christmas, and we will talk to you soon. Have a great night.